Welcome to the Appleton Area Health Podcast. We're your home for exceptional service and trusted care located in Appleton, Minnesota. Your community, your healthcare. I'm Matt Tollefson, the Development Manager at AAH. I've been with Appleton Area Health for 2.5 years. I've been served as a grant writer, fundraiser, recruiter, and CNA course finder. I have no background in healthcare. Nobody in my immediate family worked in healthcare. I didn't study it, and needles still make me a bit queasy. I've learned a lot in the past 2.5 years, but there is still way more that I don't know or fully understand. That's why we are creating this podcast. Let's get questions answered, and together, let's demystify this complicated world of healthcare and make it a bit easier to understand. I have an exciting show for you today. I'm joined by our newest doctor, Dr. Charles Keller, Kelsey Kuechenmeister, our March Employee of the Month, and patient, Hope Schmidt. So let's dive into today's episode. This is a good one. All right, welcome back to another segment of Healthcare for You. And this is a bit of a different week. We're not going to focus on a singular topic, but an individual today, our newest doctor at Appleton Area Health, Dr. Keller. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So you've been here now this week doing your orientation.
Yeah.
Right? So, okay.
Exciting.
Good.
Yeah.
And the Tori's kept you busy over there?
Oh, very much. Yeah.
Very much. Good. All right. So everyone wants to know, why Appleton?
Why not Appleton?
Why not? Good question.
Yeah. So, Dr. Vanderveer and I have known each other for quite a few years now, and have become very good friends. And we both were in some leadership positions in a bigger organization. We both kind of stepped aside when there were some transitions, and he was up here talking with the CEO, Greg, about some of the challenges they were having. And he just said, "Hey, would you have breakfast with me?" And he goes, "I got a couple questions for you." And I was, just like, okay, he knows just about everything. But I sat down, talked to him, and he said, "I got a weird opportunity, but I think it might be awesome."
Okay.
And so he just told me about it, background. And I went home, talked to my wife, and then said, "Let's get some more information." And the more I thought about it, the more interested I became. I like being a part of a community. I like being a part of a place where you can have an impact. I like doing a variety of things. I've worked in rural areas before. And so it was an opportunity to get back to that, because I'd been getting more and more into either office practice, just seeing patients like that, and or leadership positions. And I said, this is something that just calls to my heart. This is part of why I became a doctor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you became a doctor. Where did you train, or where did you get your education from?
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
Okay. Undergraduate, I did at University of Iowa.
Okay.
Got a degree in biochemistry. Did quite a few things between that and medical school. I don't know if you want me to tell you some of that. That's okay.
Yeah.
No, that's okay. But went to medical school when I was 31. I started in George Washington University in DC. Absolutely loved it. It was expensive in that city, but it was gorgeous, and it was a great place to be. Wonderful education. Did my residency and family practice at Moses Cone in Greensboro, North Carolina. And then I started practicing initially in Marshalltown, Iowa.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's a weird connection. We'll have to talk about
really?
Marshalltown.
Okay.
Very cool. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, you guys were here a couple weeks ago. Your wife and daughter and friend were here, right?
Yeah.
And stuff. You went to PEG, so you checked that out.
It was great.
Good. So you said you're just looking for that community again.
Yes.
Right? So, okay.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that attracted you to Appleton.
Very much. And I think the other is, there's a lot of things that Dr. Vanderveer and I trust each other very much. Being able to work with each other is really fantastic. We both enjoy, helping organizations improve, developing people, developing programs. And just the whole process of that and getting to know people and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm excited.
Well, good. I know one of the areas that you're interested in is burnout,
Yes.
right? And that's something that I think we've heard a lot about for those of you that pay attention to labor markets and things like that, it's hard to find people, and a lot of people are leaving the profession because of burnout.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit.
Oh, I could talk forever, but
we'll do a separate podcast on that for those of you that are interested.
Yeah, if you're interested. But I'd say, it's not just physicians. It's just almost any position, but especially those that serve. So you see it in physicians, nurses, even lawyers sometimes, police officers, food service, stuff like that are looking out for other people. And it really is, people talk about several ways of thinking about it. One of the terms is moral injury. You're put in a no-win situation is the simplest way to think about it. So as a doctor, which is my experience, I know this is this is the right thing for the patient, but insurance may be blocking it. Our staff may not be capable. The hospital, may try to block it and other stuff. And you're going, okay. And when you do that again and again, it kind of takes something out of you. The term moral injury, if you really want to go back, comes from the Vietnam War.
Okay.
The soldiers were put in impossible positions,
sure,
right? And asked to make impossible decisions. And it's certainly not on that scale for us. But it does affect you. It takes a little bit out of you each time. And it's kind of an insidious process. And it accelerated during the pandemic, I think, primarily because of the isolation. And my opinion is isolation kills.
Yep.
It simply, so many people leads to damaging situations. And so what was a challenge is now, I hate to use the word, but an epidemic. The most recent statistics are around 60% of doctors and other healthcare professionals are burnt out.
Sure. And
you don't give your best work, you don't give your best effort, all that kind of stuff. So
we've heard about some of that burnout here in the state with some of the negotiations with the nurses and things like that, and staffing ratios and some different things that are going through the legislature right now. So really interesting to hear that, and would love to have you on again to talk about that. So,
great. Yeah.
What other areas are you interested in the clinic?
I like all kinds of different stuff. I really enjoy, just general medicine practice. I enjoy getting to know people, getting to know what's important to them and what are their goals, whatever stage of life they're in, and how we can help them get there. I enjoy some sports medicine.
Okay.
I enjoy, some procedures, injecting joints, other stuff like that. That's fairly straightforward. I really enjoy the whole mix of it.
Awesome.
I feel very fortunate to do something I love.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else you'd like our listeners to know?
I think that the main thing I'd say is actually, this is a great group of people here. There's a lot of very dedicated people who, despite all the challenges, pandemic and more, are really dedicated to doing good work. And I've really been impressed that they really a fantastic group. So I'm excited to join.
Good.
So,
yeah, we have a fun team and a good team.
Yes,
here, so.
And that's the other thing. Fun is important. So
Good. Well, thank you very much for your time. And I know, when are you starting in the clinic again?
It's going to be about 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks.
Yeah, okay. I don't remember the exact date.
Sure. So mid-April or so?
Yes, exactly.
So, okay, mid-April. To get on Dr. Keller's schedule, call the clinic. We'll have that number at the end of the episode for you again. But thank you again, Dr. Keller. It's been great getting to know you a little more.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Good.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the next segment here in the Appleton Area Podcast, our staff spotlight, joined by Kelsey Kuechenmeister today. Kelsey, how you doing?
Great. How are you?
Good. I'm happy winter finally seems to be done.
Hopefully. We'll Fingers crossed.
We'll see. So, Kelsey, what do you do here at Appleton Area Health?
I work in medical records.
Okay.
As of right now, I am in charge of prior authorizations, which is It's kind of a big job for
Mm-hmm.
a person. Say if you wanted to come in and get like an MRI of your knee, I would have to send it into your insurance to make sure it would get covered and everything.
Sure.
But I do a lot of miscellaneous things. I send out records. I do a lot of reporting for the state of Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah, I do a little transcription. I can
Sure.
do coding.
Jack of
I
all
do a lot
trades.
of it, everything. Yeah.
Good. And Kelsey was also our March Employee of the Month. I failed to mention that. So how long have you been here at Appleton Area
I
Health?
have actually just had my 3-year anniversary, March 30th.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, cool. Congratulations
Thank
on March Employee of the Month. That's
Yes.
cool. What do you like working about, or what do you like about working here at Appleton Area Health?
I love everybody that works
Mhm.
here. Everybody always has a friendly smile on their face. Everybody's so helpful.
Mhm.
Everybody is just so happy to be here. I love the patients here and the residents. They're all so friendly and they always just want to chat.
Yep.
And yeah, I just love it here. It's great.
Yep.
It's a great
So-
place to work.
Yeah, good. So Kelsey, you work over in Apple Ridge, and you mentioned the residents
Yes.
over there as being kind of fun to chit chat with and talk to and stuff. So, any memories in particular of anything with them over there?
I don't know. It's just every morning they're always like, if it's the bad weather, they're like, surprised you made it in. I
Yep,
heard you
yep.
got 6 inches of snow. I'm like, well, I mean, wasn't 6 inches, but
Yep.
yeah, we made it in. Like, I don't know. They're always talking about the weather. They're always worried. They're
Yep.
always worried about us, and it's great that they always care about us.
It's like having 20 extra grandpa and
Yes.
grandmas, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So-
Yeah, they're always worried about us, and I love it.
Awesome. Well, good.
Mhm.
Outside of work, what do you like to do?
Outside of work, I like to hang out with friends and family. A lot of the time during the summer, I'm at the lake
Mhm.
and hanging out with family. Family's a big part of my life.
Cool.
I have 3 dogs, so as
Okay.
of right now, they take up a lot of time.
Awesome. What kind of dogs do you have?
I have 2 corgis and then a pit bull.
Okay.
So yeah, all under a year. So it's
Oh my goodness. You do
Kinda
stay
crazy.
busy. Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, I like to read and watch movies.
Okay. Cool. All right. So we're getting pretty close here, Kelsey, to graduation time. Any advice for upcoming graduates at any of our local high schools that may catch this interview?
Yes, I would say keep your mind open. As when I went to college, I started out with accounting as I didn't know for sure what I wanted to do. Knew I was good with numbers, but I just knew I wanted to work in the medical field somewhere. And I wasn't good with blood, so I was like, accounting seems like a safe bet. So I was like, I'll do that. And then when I got to college, I decided to take a random course in coding, and I turned out I loved it, and I stuck with it, and I added another year to my courses, and I went for medical coding, medical admin, and I graduated with 3 degrees in 3 years. So I would say, yeah, keep an open mind for when you're going to school. If you change your degrees, that's totally fine.
All right. Well, that's good advice. Definitely keep that open mind, and especially don't rule out a career in healthcare if you're scared of blood, because there's 2 people here at this table that work in healthcare that don't love blood. So
Exactly.
awesome. Well, thank you, Kelsey, for your time, and congratulations again on Employee of the Month.
Yes, thank you.
Yep. And welcome back to our 3rd segment here, our featured patient, joined by Hope Schmidt for this one today. And Hope, thanks for being here. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for inviting me. Spring has sprung. So
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who's not in a really good mood right now.
Right?
The sunshine is making us happier, healthier. It's great.
It's good to be out. And
Yeah. You just can't turn a corner in town right now without seeing 3 people and their dog and
Yeah.
some kids on a bike. It's wonderful.
Yep. And you have 2 kids as well.
I do.
And so getting them out of the house
Oh
is
my
just,
gosh.
yeah.
I feel like telling them that the Easter egg hunt was going to be inside this
Mhm.
year was a rough message for them to handle. So the last couple of days, it's just such a great feeling as a parent after dinner to
Mhm.
say, go outside and play.
Sure.
So they have been out and playing hard. I don't know about you, Matt, with kids too.
Mhm.
They're tired now.
Mhm.
Like they
Yes.
have played so hard and they get into bed. They still have dirty feet sometimes. Like it's summer is coming. It's a good feeling.
Yes, definitely. So another thing, like me, you're not
Yeah.
originally from Appleton, not originally
Right.
from the area.
Right.
Moved here with to join a spouse, right? So,
Right?
yeah.
I'm a transplant.
Yes.
As I say. Yep.
So talk about your experience coming into the community, and how'd you get to know Appleton Area Health, I guess?
So I've been in town 13 years now. I married Andrew Schmidt, who is a local. I call him a local yokel. He's from here, a proud Appletonian. And when we moved to town, December of, it would have been 2010. When we moved to town, I had just finished education degree, and it was just us two. We were newlyweds, and I came to know Appleton Area Health just as needing a home to establish like regular care. Where am I going to get my checkups? I'm a young woman. If I'm going to have a family, who am I going to see? And unfortunately, like after being newlyweds, one of our first visits to Appleton Area Health, I think Andrew had doctored here probably his whole childhood too, was Andrew had some allergic reactions and we needed emergency care. And I just remember being still very young and new to the area, but coming into the emergency room and receiving that care with a smile and a calming presence. I don't remember what nurse was on staff in the emergency room that day, but that was probably some of my first introductions.
Sure. And you've mentioned some other, big moments in your life, recovery from a surgery.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
So I have had 2 foot ankle surgeries to address some broken tendons and broken bones. And I received all of my post-operative care here in town. And my second surgery, that was during the pandemic. So there was a lot of uncertainty and nervousness and how do we approach healthcare and what does that look like with a mask, going for physical therapy and just, I was a little older at that point, but still this would have been in the early fall of 2009, July of 2020 that I started working with Big Stone Therapy after a second surgery. And due to some of the delays in surgeries at that time, I had a lot of atrophy and a lot of just muscle weakness. And I didn't recover at the pace that I was hoping that was going to happen. And Jordan Halverson, she is my angel. She was down working in Big Stone down in our physical therapy. And also Kelly Whitnable. She was like my coach. She was my recovery coach.
Anyone that knows Kelly knows that.
Right? And my brain had kind of confused my feet. And there were just things on so many fronts that I was working through. And those women got me walking again. And if you live anywhere in town, anywhere near me, you remember me just doing these very slow laps around this block, around the community garden spot. And I remember
in your walking boot, right?
In my walking boot, and just, it was tough. And so to now be able to run and play with my kids again, I attribute that to the wonderful care of those ladies.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. We love having Big Stone Therapies as a part of our facility and to help with the post-operative care.
Like what a partner. Yeah. And it makes me think too, my mom had heart surgery a couple of years ago and she did some physical therapy with our team here too, as she was recovering post-op with that too. So it has been a big home base for our family.
Cool. So you mentioned your family and chasing your kids around. As a parent, why do you feel comfortable bringing your kids to Appleton Area Health?
I mean, convenience and relationship. There's so much to be said for bringing a child, right, vulnerable and nervous maybe about going into a doctor's office, into somewhere that they know them by first name. They ask them how they're doing, how is school doing, and that's just always the experience that we have when we bring our kids into Appleton Area Health. I love that I can get my kids in within a couple of days, that they're going to see a doctor or a nurse practitioner that has rapport with them, that they trust, that they're going to be able to hop up on that table and say to. That is what draws us back to Appleton Area Health time and time again.
I just, it's that small town, that community feel.
I
from my own experience, it's just funny when my kids, at least at the Christmas concert, one of their nurses sits behind them.
I love it.
The whole time, our youngest is just
it was
smiling and playing games and remembered that, hey, that person helped me.
Yeah. And I think our small town staffs do a really nice job of balancing like patient confidentiality and still having an environment of trust and that's a fine line, and I've always appreciated that has also been held up. Our youngest, Audie, had his tonsils and his ear tubes, had his tonsils out, ear tubes put in here. And that too, Audie is a sensitive and energetic soul, and I was so impressed with the nursing staff and the anesthesia staff. Through that experience, they were so patient with a little child going through something kind of scary.
Yeah,
so that was a great experience here.
Yep. Well, good. Well, Hope, thank you so much for doctoring here with your family, and thank you for being on the podcast today and sharing your story. Really appreciate it.
You bet. I'm so glad we have this resource right here in our town.
Thanks. Thanks for checking out the Appleton Area Health Podcast. Thank you to Dr. Keller, Kelsey, and Hope for appearing on today's episode. The video stream is available on Facebook and YouTube, and the audio versions will be available wherever you get your podcasts. To schedule an appointment, call our clinic at 320-289-1580. As we hope to spread this useful information, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for listening.